Hey you guys, this is Tanya coming back in for another session with you all here at the Journey of an Awakened Empath. I just want to make sure that I'm getting more videos out and making sure that I touch bases with you all more often. One of the things that we talked about the last video I put up was about energy and how to protect your aura and how to, how to protect yourself from psychic attacks and different things. I do want to go back in and continue that conversation today, mostly because I want you to make sure that you're doing your meditation time and journaling. If you're not journaling, if you don't like to write or whatever, just record things on your phone, even if you have to record videos back to yourself. Most of the time when I record these videos, I'm going to go back and watch them myself. So all the work that we do it for ourselves, and we do it in hope that somebody else is going to take it and learn something from it. And we help other people save themselves by them watching us save ourselves. So while you're not somebody else's savior, so much you are your own. So you have to work out your own salvation type of thing, like, as in saving yourself from yourself, or saving yourself from whatever has happened to you, rescuing yourself, and not trying to escape versus to heal, because that's something common we do. We think since we're not talking about things that we're over it. No, sometimes you bury things alive. If you bury something alive, it's not dead, it's just buried alive, and for a while you might be able to stuff it down, but if you leave it there, there's a possibility it's going to dig its way out and resurface. Any little wind that blows, anything that scratches you the wrong way or something, is going to come back up. So I always experience things when I teach on things. I always get tested before I teach, and then after I teach, it's like I'm held accountable for what it is that I know, and other people are too. But I'm the one that's giving a message out, and I have to be first partaker of the message that comes to me. It comes through me to you from the divine or from my higher self. It's not going to be, just something I set up and thought about over in my head. So I want to dig more into the mindset of a person who has gone through a lot of trauma, either from psychic attacks or from any kind of, like, if you're an empath and you've been around a lot of toxic energy, or you've been, raised and reared in it, different things like that. There's fragments of you, if you have not gotten them under control, there will be fragments of you left in the same spot that the trauma happened, like wherever the force happened to you in. Sometimes you have to travel back. I call it soul retrieval or fragment retrieval or whatever. You'll pull parts of yourself back to yourself, and once you know what's yours and what's somebody else's, you can make sure that you're able to see immediately when something is in your field is not you, there's not part of you, and that you don't agree with, even if it's been there for a long time. If you decide, now I don't agree with this is something that I've been raised to think is okay, but now that I'm older and now that I'm growing spiritually, I realize that I don't really agree with this. Not that it's wrong, but it's not right for me. So I'm not going to bother everybody else with it. I'm just going to release it from myself. There will be people who take your personal success and your personal growth as a personal slap in the face to them, as if you're doing it to show them up. You can't get caught up on that. That's them and their insecurities and whatever they have going on. Don't get stuck in that. I don't recommend you get stuck in that, because when you go back into things to try to dim your light to fit in, that means that you lower your vibration in order to fit in with the wrong people. The trouble with that is, if you come out of a space and you cleared that out, and you're not in that headspace anymore, and you turn around and choose to go back into it after you cleaned it out, it's not going to be the same as it was before. It probably will get worse. The situation usually does get worse for more than one reason. That's why if you ever clear a space out, or if you go heal a space, always put rejuvenating and renewing strength and energy in that spot, and things that will move you forward in that spot, things that are blessings and affirmations. You can speak to your own soul and guide it forward. You get to write your own chapter. You get to write your own book about how things go. I would make sure that if you don't have someone that you can talk to as a mentor, that you pray and call in your soul tribe and find places here, like here on YouTube, with those of us who are here to serve on these social media platforms, for people who may or may not have someone near them that is vibing at a level that can help them to get free from some things, or to help them show the way, like a way shower, to show things forward, someone to lead by example, or someone to at least share the experience of learning with, in a safe space, or in a space that's that you'll grow in. You'll be safe there, but your attachments will not, because the person will be telling you what you need to hear and what will help you, versus what feels good to your ego, or what feels good to your flesh. And I will say the ego can go both ways. It can tell you what you are not and limit you, or it can make you think real like haughty, like things are like you got a problem with everybody not agreeing with you. Like arrogance to me is a low self-esteem with a mask on of a high self-esteem, if that makes sense. Like, it's somebody that, if you are something, there's no need for you to act, because you're being. So if you're being who you are, there's no need for you to act a certain way. You don't have to try to make sure people know. They're going to just see it, period. I don't have to tell somebody I'm a woman of color. You can look at me and tell that. I don't have to go around screaming it and saying it out loud. The same thing. If you're confident, if you're whole, if you're rejuvenated, if you're secure within yourself and secure within the divine, you don't have to go around screaming it. People are going to be able to see it. Some people that you don't even want to recognize it will, and just be. Make sure that you understand that, or overstand, or understand that there will be times when you encounter people or situations that will challenge everything that you've learned thus far about spiritual growth, about who you are. And while we don't necessarily like trials and tribulations, they do tend to show us where we are, when things are not going the way that we expected them to, or when there's a disappointment, or some sort of pain that comes to us by way of however it comes. That is a hit on your auric field, even and sometimes you're not expecting it. And so you want to be able to be available and open, but guarded, not walled up, but guarded, because you need something around you to make sure that you protect your auric field. Make sure you do the work on yourself every day. And I mean, you can't avoid all those situations, but you can make them. You don't have to go in and willingly be around situations all the time that you feel a little like you're tired or you're off, and you don't need to be around people, because you already know that, okay, I might be a little, I need to build myself up before I go around this particular person. And if it's not necessary for you to be around them, why even put yourself in that predicament? I'm not saying you got to avoid everybody, but some things we don't really have to do. I always say, people say choose your battles wisely. At this point in the game, I don't choose battles at all. I wait until I'm given one to deal with, because there's enough. I ain't trying to choose one at all if I can possibly not choose one, because I mean, I don't want to pick a fight. I don't want to be in a fight if I don't have unnecessary fights anyway. My biggest thing is dealing with myself and cleaning myself out, and it's not me trying to make it seem like I'm better than other people or I have it all together. It's just that I know I don't all the time. So I need to stay on top of that. And I recommend that most people, like everybody, needs to stay on top of it so that you're not so open to things when they come to you. And when you're if you find yourself out of alignment and you know something is a little off, you don't even know how it got in or where did it surface from, don't panic, don't freak out. There's ways that you can get some help. And if you don't have anybody around you right away to help out, that's why we have like different, symbols and different oils. There's something on this earth to heal everything about you spiritually, mentally, and physically. And usually they all work together. That's why food is so powerful. And atmosphere is so powerful. If you've ever gone into a place where you can just sense the presence of the divine there, or God, or universe, or source, or whatever it is that you call it, you can feel it. When you walk into a place and you instantly feel charged, you can tell that people are in this particular place, like, and they're all in agreement. And this can be anywhere. I mean, don't necessarily have to be in a religious building or something like that, although that does happen. I have been in different religious settings where you could feel it and you could sense that these people really do have a heart, for people, and there really is something here that's got a lot of love around it. And wow, and it's unconditional love. That you'll be sensing, the pure life force that you sense around you, that's there to build you up and put places back in. And that's what you'll be needing to fix those holes in yourself that was like maybe some type of traumatic blow to your auric field at a young age that allowed other things to get in. You'll be using raw life force energy to fill that back up. And you can do that with your words. You can do that a number of ways. You can see a practitioner for one thing. They get them to help you out with that. If you need someone to help you with that, let me know. Book a session. We got different types of energy healing that, the work that we can do, different rituals that will help you out. Maybe I can point you in the right direction to somebody else if I can't do it. I have resources for different resources that I can talk to you about, because it's very, very important to make sure that your soul is doesn't have a bunch of holes in it that things can get in and stay there or lodge there and get stuck to the point where you don't see where it ends and where it begins, and you feel like you just in a big ball of confusion because you don't know what's going on. You can't really tell what's going on. You just know something is not right. And there's also a need to make sure that you're keeping things tidy so that you don't. Negative energy loves negative situations. It likes mess. I know you've ever, it likes a mess. It likes messiness. If a person is messy and they like drama and they like chaos, chances are if you follow that person home, their house is usually chaotic. And even if it looks good on the surface, if you look into some spaces that they don't allow people to go into, it's probably like really, really a mess in there, and they'll be comfortable in the mess. Everybody got, I mean, I need to clean up my house right now, so it's not like and I need to definitely clean my car out, but it's not like my house gets to the point where it's just overwhelming, because I know things hold energy. And if something is broken in your house, get rid of broken things out of your house, old things that you're not using, things that you don't really deal with a whole lot. If you had a project that you haven't worked on in months and you know you're not going to finish it, the incomplete things, they tend to hold a certain energy after so long. Broken things that are incomplete, They can hold procrastination, different other things in it. Just a lot of stuff, like the things that you probably wouldn't think about, especially broken things. It's not a good idea, especially broken things. Broken glass, definitely, like having a mirror that's got a big crack in it. I have a window that has a little crack in it, and I really want to get somebody to seal the window up. The previous tenants had children that put a little crack there, and having things like that go on, it's just cracked and broken things sometimes bring lower vibing energy. Not all the time, but sometimes they do, especially if it's something that's been passed down to you from somebody else and it's holding their energy, your energy. It's just holding chaotic stuff, period. Be very mindful of that. Clean and then cleanse. Add blessings back to your space after you get done. And make sure that you clean yourself, keep proper hygiene going on in yourself, because they do not like cleanliness. Like a lot of them don't like cleanliness. Certain ones do not like it. Now you do have some spirits that do like cleanliness, because sometimes, especially people that are very snobbish and egotistical, kind of arrogant, and have this I'm better than everybody else type of thing going on. They might not be the cleanest person in the world, but they will make sure that somebody else around them is, so that they don't have to really do anything, but they can still be in a clean and like a tidy environment. So they can, so those are the ones that you probably are harder to kind of spot, because they have other people around them doing all the stuff that they supposed to be doing for themselves sometimes, or that they could be doing, but they will not, because it's not in them to do it. But they do have sense enough to have other people around them that can do it, because while they are maybe energy vampires or something like that, they still like to have a certain order around them, even if they're out of order. Those are the type of people that will love to control other people, but then they don't have any self-control. So it can go more than one way, but the majority of the time, those entities, they like filth, they like junk, they like dust, they like stagnant things, they like things just sitting there. They like for you not to complete your task and your projects. They love it. They like to steal energy through other people. Like they like to come through other people and distract you, to get you to forget what you're doing, and then lose your train of thought. You lose what you're doing, so you don't go back to it. There's a lot of things that go on. When I mention psychic attacks, I don't necessarily mean somebody calling you, cussing you out, and all this other stuff. It could be something really simple, like you may have eaten something that didn't agree with you, and then somebody wants to come and talk to you about something that you really don't want to hear right then. And that can be an opening to it. Like you could have just need rest and not had enough sleep, and there's one thing after another, and you make the mistake of picking up your phone within 5 minutes of you waking up and checking emails, versus you getting some meditation time in and breathing that quick. You just open yourself up to the enemy's attacks, because you did not have a plan, and you hadn't grounded yourself and centered yourself for the day, and immediately you're taking on somebody else's energy, whatever it is, because you don't know what's on the other side of that text. You don't know what's in that email unless you open it. And once you open it, it has the ability to master you and master your senses, because it's going to draw you right in. And then that, if it's something crazy on there, if it's not good news, they can send you in a tailspin for the rest of the day, rest of the week, and it can start a cycle that might last a really long time. So the spiritual hygiene is very important. We're going to keep talking about it until we get it. I mean, as many times that I can say it, I'm going to say it, because this is what I have to do. And I'm doing it now. Like even with different beads, I know this symbols, they all mean something. I know what they mean. Even the sunflowers on my dress means something. The fact that I have my head covered today, I've been making sure that I stay away from psychic attacks. You have to cover your head sometimes as a sign of covering your head. You're like your crown. I have so many different ways that I use anything I can to help myself, be it vitamins, supplements, minerals, food, stones, crystals, baths, candles, clothing, jewelry, just water, dirt, breathing, taking very deep breaths, and breathing all the way down to your stomach and then back up, learning how to do that, and balancing your chakras, listening to frequencies, listening to the right music, watching movies that mean something. There's so many different ways, and when you get to a certain point, you'll know immediately, like, to work with whatever you have. And if you don't have anything else to work with, you got your body to work with. We got something on us to help ward off different things. And I mentioned before about sometimes just even a smile can shift your whole energy. Like, you cannot feel like you got nothing to smile about. Do it anyway. Just smile. And then sometimes if you see something around, I know people that do that. And when they're mad, they laugh. And it sounds crazy, or when they're nervous, they laugh. They don't know that that's their system's way of switching vibrations or whatever too sometimes. And clapping, that shifts things too. Whistling, speaking, praying, just all kinds of things can shift your atmosphere. Just saying the word love, gratitude, thank you. I used to hear my grandma say, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord. And I'd be thinking to myself, she look like she barely moving. She can't hardly get up. But then I thought about it later on when I was having these issues. Yeah, she might be barely moving, but she's moving. And this is something that the enemy meant for her not to be able to do at all. So under the circumstances, she has something to be grateful for, because she could have not been moving at all. And I've gone through some things where it probably looks like small beans to somebody else, but it's a big deal to me, because I know the story behind why I'm saying thank you. And if nothing else, I'm just going to say thank you until I raise my vibration high enough to see something to be thankful for. If I'm in a space where I don't see no light at the end of the tunnel type of thing, okay, I already know that's not me, because I've been through so much stuff. I'm grateful just to take the next breath. So, or open my eyes in the morning and be able to see my grandchildren or my children and I can call. My parents are still alive, and my spiritual parents still alive. I can call people and say hello if I want to. That's something to be grateful for. To be able to walk in my room, might not have everything I want in this house, but I have a warm house. I have power. I'm not behind on bills. There's something to be grateful for, and gratitude will get you vibrating up there real quick. Where you get to the want and need and feel like you gotta have certain things, you'll get into misery. Real want and need will get you into a low vibe really fast. That's been my problem before, is I'll be okay, and then there'll be something that I want, and then I want it too bad, and it'll run away from me, and then it'll be like, oh, okay, like the stuff that I don't want is coming to me, and the stuff that I do want is running from me, and I didn't know why. And I honestly am still working with that, whereas I can put things out there but not try to control how it happens, and do my work and do what I'm told to do, but not be so connected to the outcome that I think is supposed to happen so much, because it may turn out better than I even thought, or it may not turn out I might not get the result that I planned to get, but it's going to be the one that I was supposed to get, because if I did it right, if I did what I was supposed to be doing, there's going to be a harvest there. And it may not look like what I thought it would look like. I've had things to look a whole lot better than I thought, and then sometimes things look bad right then, and I'll be so glad later on that I didn't get what I asked for, because later on I might run up on this person or this vehicle or this house or whatever it is, or run up on whatever it was that I thought I wanted, and be so glad that I didn't get it. I can't tell you the amount of times when somebody wanted to date me or I liked somebody or something like that, and then things wouldn't pan out like I wanted, or it'd be the wrong time, or either I don't know they even breathing or they don't know I exist type of thing. I've had that to go on so many times myself. You'll get to the point where you get frustrated sometimes because it feels like you're running things away from yourself. But I said that to say this. Have you ever had somebody that keeps coming around and you don't want them around, and they just keep coming, and keep bothering you and keep sweating you and bothering, and it'll be the one that you would like to show some type of interest that sometimes won't. We got to go back on the inside and find out what it is in us that's attracting these people that we really don't want. Are we focusing so much on what we don't want and looking at what's around us and other people's situations like, oh, I'm glad that's not me. I don't want that. I don't want it. Like we're surrounded by situations that if we look at it in a negative manner, it can come to us too. So I'm learning to keep my mind and my mouth and my head and my eyeballs out of other people's business and not take it on. If they ask me about it, then cool. I'll try to help them deal with the situation without me taking it on, because some of us, especially empaths and people that help other folks heal, some of us are single because it's hard for us to run into people that are like us, because we're surrounded by people who need us for healing sometimes, and we don't really take time for ourselves to even get out and go anywhere or do anything. And it might be like a shortage of people in your area that even are that's even into this type of thing. So you kind of feel like you don't really have a lot of choices and options. However, we have the internet, we have different things set in place now. You don't have to deal with just whatever comes to your door. If you desire a partner or friends, or if you, whatever it is that your heart desires to have, whatever you want, you can put a petition out there for it, but you just need to ready yourself for it. Ready yourself for what it is that you want. If you want someone, say you're a female and you're a feminine female and you're a heterosexual feminine female and you're single and you're celibate, or you're just single, and you desire to have a masculine male, and not in a wounded, toxic sort of way. You want someone who is caring and is a definition of husband, like to care for and all that type of thing, to protect. There's different things that we have not been taught that masculinity is in the world that I live in. We haven't. And so what I'm looking for, or what I would like, I don't see that often. So to get myself into the vibration of it and to feel as if I'm already experiencing it, that's how you're supposed to bring things into you. So you have to create in your mind the situation that you would like. You have to ask for the divine to show you what it is that you actually do need. What is it that you would be best for you in your walk? And that's I know it sounds like this is all over the place, but I promise it connects, because who we have in our life around us and in our environment is very important to our life's work, because they are a possible vessel for good things and to work from, and from a good space, and it can be a help. There also is a chance that if that person is not in alignment, or if they have certain issues that they're not willing to deal with, the enemy can come in and get into whatever hole they have in their soul and come and connect to you, and then you'll have soul ties with not only that person, you'll have a stronghold of this same spirit, because you've been operating with this person and exchanging energy with them, and it's impossible. It's like catching a cold. It'll go through the whole house. The virus will go through the whole house before it works its way out sometime. If you're a person that don't clean your aura and you don't clean your house, you don't clear, you don't fast, you eat whatever you think of, you never purge, you never detox, you can trust and believe you're going to be taking on all the negative entities from somebody, or attachments and different things into your body. So are you really treating yourself when you start doing a whole lot of mindless eating things, or being around things that you shouldn't, and overconsumption of alcohol, overconsumption of whatever. It could be anything. It could be anything. So make sure you clear, detox. I ain't saying don't have fun. I'm just saying do it mindfully. And when you're done, make sure that you balance. Make sure that what you're doing is not out of balance, because that's the key. It's not that you can't do anything. It's just that you want to be balanced when you do it, and count the cost before you even go out there. Can you afford to do it? How do you feel today? Is your aura good? Have you been having life? Has life been lifing? And you want to make sure you're ready to go out around people, because if you're empath, then you're gonna have your stuff, and people just human nature gonna make sure that they gravitate towards you, and they're gonna want you to take the stuff off them, or they're gonna want to vent to you about what's going on. They want you to take on their problem as if it's yours, and you already feeling people's stuff. So it's hard sometimes when you're first starting out on this journey. It's hard to separate yourself from other people's stuff. So sometimes you're gonna need separation time for yourself, even if you're in a connection, even if you have a friend. It is not healthy to have somebody up under you 24 hours a day, to the point where you can't even do anything for yourself. Because I don't care how close y'all are and how in love you are, sooner or later you're going to need to have time for yourself. Like, there's time. Meditation is even when you turning your own mind off. So how you going to be running on 10 cylinders if you haven't even turned yourself off enough to rebalance? If you got somebody else, you got them, their mind, their mouth, and your mind and your mouth running all the time. Y'all constantly exchanging energy and overly indulging in each other's energy, and that has become an addiction and an obsession and a codependency. All codependency is not bad, because I mean, let's face it, that's why people are in relationships. With this something that this other person is good at that they might not be. They bring something that they feel like they don't have. I ain't gonna say don't have, but something you would like to see outside of you, like reflected to you. And there's a lot we can do for ourselves, but let's just be real about it. There's some things that you will never be able to do for yourself, because it takes the touch of another person in order for that to happen in this realm. So when I say give yourself what it is that you need, I'm talking about, like, make sure you fill up spaces and make sure that you ready yourself for what it is that you're looking for. If you want somebody who's balanced and in alignment, then you need to be balanced and in alignment. If you want somebody who looks out for you, then you need to look out for yourself, so that you're not, because in that you'll be looking out for them. If you meet a person who's all about you and they don't take care of themselves, that sounds cute in the beginning, till they start resenting you for them not being able to take care of themselves, because you're not going to be able to give them some things they're going to have to give to themselves. And they're not going to be able to give you everything. Some things you got to give to yourself. However, having them around, they should bring something to you, and you should bring something to them, and y'all should be sharing energies. So where you might not have a strong point in certain things, and this person is helping you get aligned, don't fight with them. You know they're right. Just listen. I mean, it helps your vibration to go up when you just go ahead and let the ego die and take the instructions. And even if you don't understand, or you don't understand what's going on, sometimes if you just follow the steps, it'll come to you. And even at that, just own it, and then release it, and learn how to say when you're wrong, or when something is not quite right. Don't make excuses for it. We're good at that sometimes. Don't make excuses for it. Don't make excuses for it. Fix it. And if you feel like, oh, it's not fixable, you can chip away at it. I don't care if it takes you 80 years. That's what time is for. Time is time exists in this realm. It could be a blessing and a curse. It's whatever you make it. So if you still breathing, you got time to do some stuff different. And I mean, if you waste time doing waste time and energy being distracted all the time by somebody else and what they think and what they feel and what they do, you will not have time to pour into yourself. And then you're going to go off and not be able to show up your best self for those who are doing the work on themselves. I cannot tell you how many times I poured into people, and they'll take that same energy and go pour it into whoever has been draining them, and then come right back and think that I'm going to give them a refill of my energy while they're over there not really respecting what I had to go through to keep myself together. So I don't give out my last drop of energy. I will circulate, but if I put something out and I feel like it's not circulating and it's one sided, I will cut it off. No, because you can show somebody all day long, you can show them for years, 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 how much you love them, how trustworthy you are, and all that. All sometimes people see that as that's your duty. They take it for granted, and they also don't really always have your best interests at heart. They just really want what they want. They're not really coming to give, they coming to take. So you thinking that if you show them how it's done that they're going to learn. I know people that's been in relationships for over 2 decades, maybe even 3, and the significant other, there's people that comes into their life like maybe a week or two, or maybe a month or two, or maybe even the first day, and they know more about this person, what they like or what they need, than the person that's been sitting in their face for that long. You know why? Because it was one-sided, and they don't value that person, and it's a hard pill to swallow when you wasted, you feel like you've wasted your time. It's not wasted if you learn a lesson, but people say, oh, it's not wasted. You don't waste time. You just, yeah, you can waste time, because, and you can make things harder on yourself. You can make things harder on yourself. So being in an atmosphere where somebody is just hell bent on not accepting you for who you are, not giving you what it is that they can give you, and what you've been displaying to them, they can't reflect that back to you. And what are you doing? So you just gonna let somebody come in and dirty up your whole aura and get inside of you, intimacy, be intimate into me, see into me. You gonna let them get all up in you and all up around you and dirty up your aura, and don't even help you clean it up. Don't even help. They don't have nothing to come help you clean up nothing with, because they ain't cleaning themselves up. When have you ever seen anybody that doesn't work at a place and work for somebody go in their spot and just clean up for free and just work for free? We need to stop doing that, because it's going to deplete you. And then when you get ready to do things for yourself, or if somebody else were to come along that was a friend or a significant other or whatever it is, you're not even going to be able to receive them, because you got all these bad memories and all this bad stuff and this over here, and you're enabling and supporting someone who doesn't have your best interest at heart. It's going to be a total turnoff to somebody who is on a high vibration. They probably won't know. They be like, oh, they cute and all, there's just something about them, I don't think I want to deal with that, because you got all this garbage over here on you. There's some people, I love them, but they insist on having, excuse me, ain't shit people. And I hate to say it like that, because it sounds like I'm, but they keep people like that around them, and they wonder why I pull back. Well, you insist on having them, and that's your choice, but I don't have to deal with them, and I don't have to sit here and be dumped all this stuff on, and you're gonna go back over there where they at and do the same thing again, and then you're gonna come back over here. You don't care about yourself. You definitely don't care about me. And if you know I'm an empath, and you know that this is what I do to help people heal, and you insist on dealing with things like that, you don't have any respect for the person that is sent for you. And it's in the same thing. I've been there, but this is what I did. When I know I was around people that were trying to help me spiritually or otherwise, if I knew I didn't have my mind made up to do it, I got out of their way. I left them alone. I didn't keep going to bother them. If anything, they had to call me and contact me to see if I was all right, trying to check in on me, because I meant that if I didn't want to be the person that would take somebody else always taking them bad energy. Yeah, I have days when I'm not I show up the best I can, but sometimes my best don't look the same every day, but depending on how heavy things are. I'm still building muscle in a lot of areas of my spirit, and so I make sure that if I'm off, I don't like to be around people when I'm off. Not for me, but for them, because I might snap. Especially if I've been just like pouring, and then you see me over here needing water and breath, and here you come trying to take something else while you see me. I'm not even asking you for help. All I'm asking you to do is keep your drama to yourself while I heal up over here, while I rejuvenate. And you still bringing stuff, bringing everything but me the next breath. You're not bringing that. Y'all up in the atmosphere. No. Stop feeling like you owe people to stay around them when they know they off. If they don't know they off, they'll figure it out, because I'm going to be gone. And so if I done dipped and ain't said nothing and just gone, chances are some bullshit that went on that I ain't have time for, and I wasn't going to make time for it. That's just is what it is. I mean, I ain't bashing nobody, I ain't being mean, none of that. I do the same thing to myself. If I know I'm off, I'm immediately going to get myself together, and I don't care if I got what I got to do to get my mind right. If it's a spiritual bath, if it's purging, if it's fasting, whatever it is, taking a supplement, making sure my iron is okay, and whatever, reading a book, doing some Reiki. I did a training on that too. I just do want to throw that out. I do have a Reiki certification now. So there's different ways that we can go in and help each other, but we got to be able to exchange energy, man. We got to be able to circulate energy, just like currency. It is the currency. That's the real currency, actually. So if it's not circulating, then you're spending it. And if you're spending it, that means you're pushing it out. It don't necessarily mean you're going to have anything to come back in for it. It's like to the equivalent of somebody having $1 million, but then they die broke and don't have nothing to show for it. They literally spent everything. They didn't circulate it. They didn't put it somewhere where it was going to keep continuing to grow. They didn't plant it anywhere. They just pretty much just let it blow wherever it wanted to go. So you have to be careful about your energy. Make sure you're not all over the place and spreading yourself thin. Pull fragments of yourself back from traumatic events. If you can remember it, go back to that place where you lost that part of yourself and take it back. Gazing into flames, like lighting candles, that can help your auric field. They can help you build up your vibration. Sun gazing, when the sun is coming up or when the sun is going down, looking at the sun, that helps. That helps immediately raise your vibration. Again, I like candles. I like lights, dark spaces. A lot of entities like dark spaces. I kind of like to be in the dark at certain times. Like I like to kind of like be in a dark room to help me rest. But I'm learning to open my blinds and open things up, open the door, let some light in, and make sure that I eat light colored things or wear bright colors. If I'm feeling a certain way, if I'm working on a certain chakra, wear colors that help. Like, I love this dress, not because it's cute, even though I love sunflowers. I love this dress because it's got different colors in it that helps with my chakras. It's got green and brown and yellow. It's got a lot of colors in it. And then it's black, and black has all the colors in it, and it carries authority. So, and the brown and the oranges and things are very grounding, and it helps my sacral area, my solar plexus, my earth star, soul star. It helps. The heart space is the center of your being. So if you work on your heart, then the rest of your being will kind of be unblocked more. Also, I know people don't talk about this chakra that much. It's the thymus chakra. It's like your upper heart chakra, because we have more than 7. If you don't know that, go look for your total amount. Some of them are major, some of them are like not so major, but they are major because everything matters. Anyways, there's like your thymus. It'll be your upper heart. It's between your throat chakra and your heart. Be careful with that one. It deals with your immune system a lot. Your endocrine system is part of, you have to make sure what you're doing feeds the good nature and feeds the positive side of things. If you know that you're in a funk, don't go eat a whole bunch of, I know the first thing you want to do is eat a comfort food, but sometimes that's the worst thing you can do because it'll keep you in the cycle. So you can eat a comfort food, but find one that's healthy for your thymus or your brain, or find one that's healthy for your heart. Take a walk, move around. Another thing that helps drain things out of your body and clear things out of your body is exercise. Rebounding is one of the things that I'm trying to start now, because rebounding, look it up, it works for your lymphatic system. It helps tighten certain muscles, and it helps your core, different things like that. But there's something about the jumping. Jump rope helps if you got good knees to do that. I got the rebounder because I'm 46 years old and I ain't trying to tear my knees to pieces. But I like the idea of that because it helps you, it helps without messing up your joints. So that's one thing that clears your aura and helps raise your vibration is moving around. Because if you sit still long enough, you will get stagnant. You're made up of mostly water. Water can get stagnant if it's sitting still. And then after that, you're going to have fungus and mold and all type of stuff. Well, if you're having trouble with your lungs and your immune system is always low, chances are you need to work on your heart space or your thymus chakra. You need to work on grief. Are you holding grief? Have somebody passed away near and dear to you? If someone passes away in this flu season and you know that your chakra is off balance, balance your chakra before you go around, because you might hold grief right there. You may say, dang, I was fine and I went to the funeral and I ended up in the hospital. I ended up at the ER. My throat hurts, my neck hurts, I have a virus, I have this. Grief sits in your lungs in your heart space. Be careful with your heart space. You got your lungs, you got your heart, and you got your thymus in your heart space. All of those geared towards your immune system and how you handle stress and all that's going to have a lot to do with it. And you know, and I know it sounds like I'm going too deep into it, y'all, but with this all connects, and that's what's wrong now. We know a lot about stuff that's not helping us grow spiritually, but we don't know a lot about our bodies, and we walking around them for 40, 50 years and don't even know how they function. And I don't understand people that don't want to know how something works. You know more about your car and your game and how your phone works than you know about how your body works. And you feel like you got time to waste on somebody else trying to worry about what they're doing. That's not going to be the thing coming over here. So please be mindful. If you call me for a session from this point on, I've gotten to the place now where I don't want to just do sessions. I want to do like courses where people can come in and actually do something about what's going on and do the work. This is going to weed out people that just want to come in and drain energy and pay you a few dollars and think that that's going to help you out in the end. No, you can't pay me for my gift. You just give me an offering of gratitude, a gratitude offering or a love offering for it. Because there's really no amount of money you can pay a person to risk going in their lives in certain realms for you. So that's really not a thing. You're really not, they can't really overcharge you, to be honest with you, because it's priceless. So you just determine how much it is of yourself that you're willing to give out and in for that. That it's not really it's not really a transactional type of thing, if you know what I mean. Like it is, but in a different way than what most people might think. So them paying you a few little dollars and thinking they could just come in and out, nope. We're in a time now where people need to do the work or move out of the way. It just is what it is. I'm not gonna go into the camp and open up your cage for you to come out, and then you bite me on my hand, and then you go get the person that locked you up and y'all come back and kill me. Not gonna happen no more. Because that's what happens when you pour into somebody and then they go pour into somebody that they know is draining them. So while you love that person, you got to love yourself enough to say, you know what, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go mind my business. And I hope this person follows me over here. But if they don't, then I've done my part and I'm gone. Just like that. It's that simple. It's simple. It might not be easy, but it is simple. There is no other answers for it. And I think we're asking those same questions over and over again, thinking that we are going to get a different answer. I don't care if it's 10 years from now. The answer going to still be the same. The only thing is you might have more work to do at that point because you let it sit that long, if you survive that long doing it. By then, something will be probably coming out on your body to show that you haven't, like the big C and all kinds of other types of things that can come out on your body. So I just thought I'd come on and, for one, be consistent and recording. And for the next thing is to make sure that I share with you all about anything I can think of to help clear your aura and different things. So I think that's about it for today. I will pull a mudra. If you don't know what mudras are, you might want to study that. Study mudras and study your all your chakras. I'm gonna ask the divine to protect me as I go in and check the energy. These mudras to see what it is that the collective needs to know, what they need to work on, or what they need to receive, release. Linda too. Thank you. I knew that was coming out. Okay. We have the radiant light. The number 20 might be significant to somebody. And the color yellow. I knew this was gonna come out. I mean, I've been on solar plexus stuff for a while now, for a few days. If you'll look at this mudra, it's for clarity, personal power, and self-esteem. Remember, we talked about a healthy self-esteem versus like arrogance and cockiness. This is where you can help this part of you at and getting clarity on what it is, who you are, and what you're designed to do. It supports your digestive system and aids in assimilation of life experiences, increases your metabolism, and detoxifies. It's energizing, and it affects and helps to cultivate passion, clarity, and personal power. And notice they said cultivate passion. Passion can be dangerous if it's not cultivated, honestly. I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, in personal power. Bend your ring finger of each hand and bring to the thumbs. Cover the nail of the ring finger with the pad of the thumb. Extend the remaining fingers and rest on the thighs, palms facing upward. Relax your shoulders down and lengthen your spine. Caution, if you have digestive issues, don't do this. And say, my inner light is vibrant, luminous, and alive. And if you can't do the mudra, at least say the affirmation or the words behind it. This is what I was talking about the grief hiding in people's lungs. I knew this was coming out too. This is for breath. Now notice how this is blue. And it represents your throat chakra, but that's still part of that upper heart chakra that I was saying about the thymus, because this also deals with your breath. If you'll notice, you have a pipe that goes down. And if you have a problem with heart problems, usually people that have heart problems also have lung problems, or people that have lung problems also have heart problems. You know why? Because it's all in the same spot. Just like people that have like diabetes, or they have like something going on with their blood being off with that, then usually those type of people are also prone to have high blood pressure and have like things go on with them with like their immune system as a whole. This says ease and boundaries and immunity, your immune system. Relieves allergies and nasal congestion, assists immune system, opens and directs breath to the head and the sinuses. And you have sinuses here and in the back of your head and stuff too. So be very mindful that you have sinuses in a lot of places. I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. And you hold your hands like this. I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. Wearing blue might help. Wearing yellow might help. Wearing green is definitely going to help all of them. Now this is the higher knowledge card. Oh, and 30 might be significant to you. Also the number 5, because these two combined would be 5, and yellow and blue makes green. So again, heart. All right, so blue and red makes purple. So the throat and the root chakra will help you with this one. The higher knowledge card is for meditation, concentration, and wisdom. Wisdom is the applied knowledge. Knowing when to say what, when to do what applies where. Just knowing a whole lot of things, it can make you crazy if you get a whole lot of information that you're really not doing anything with. You need to remember who you are and remember what you're here to do, and then gear things toward that and whatever your assignment is, because wisdom will teach you that. And wisdom and humility, not thinking of yourself as less than, but humble as in your ego is not out of control, and you can use wisdom to its fullest, because if your ego is in control, wisdom will not stick around. It'll go straight out the window. All soundness of mind go out the window. If your ego is out of control, it's easily you know, bruised or whatever, it's inflamed, wisdom will not be around that. You're going to do some stupid stuff and you're going to know it's dumb when you're doing it, but you won't be able to stop yourself because you're not using wisdom. So you know better, but you're not doing better because you're not using wisdom, is what I'm saying. So balance the right and left sides of your brain, improves concentration, opens and balances your third eye chakra, assists in meditation. And I will say this will affect your nose, ears, nose, and sometimes your throat because they're all combined. And your pineal gland, which is your third eye that sits in the middle of your brain or whatever, it will help with that. And it will help with your sleep and different things too. That's why meditation is so important. 49 days gestation, when you conceive a baby, 49 days gestation is when the pineal gland lifts from the roof of the mouth and goes up. I call it the first eye, but for lack of people knowing that's why I call it that. That's your pineal gland. So I'll call it the third eye, but I really believe it's the first eye because it developed before these two did. And these get us locked into here sometimes, whereas this one can take us, you know, to a higher height while being grounded, you know. Anyway, I awaken to the divine wisdom of the universe. Not your divine wisdom like in this mind frame, but the divine wisdom of the universe. And you will see a change in yourself if you practice your vagus breathing, meditation, and work on your solar plexus. And again, look into flames, wear yellow, eat yellow, things like that. Colors do help. When you look at colors, they do say something to your brain. They do operate in different ways, and different scents do different things. We have a lot of stuff that will help us. There is no excuse for not growing in the right direction because we have a lot of things around us to help us. And the body will help itself if you keep it up. Centering. Yep, there's that root. I knew it was coming. Centering. Present my body. I am perfectly centered. Embodiment, centeredness, grounding. Reduces stress, blood pressure, strengthens the digestive system, and supports posture in the skeletal system. Relax your shoulders, lengthen your spine, and say, present my body. I am perfectly centered. And you will hold your hands like this. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I'll see y'all next time. Love you. Bye.